Here's a key practice. Here's something that, how many of you have a smartphone? Number of folks, how many of you have a tablet? Smarter than you, is that what you said? Well, me too. Yeah, so here's a key tip. Here's something that I got from an employee at the Social Security Administration in doing some work over there. They said, I like to carry around a notebook, a little notepad, just a tiny one that fits in my pocket, or the woman said, if and when I get a smartphone, I'll just have a little notes program in there. And what she did is she said, when I hear something about one of my employees, I just make a quick little note, just a couple abbreviated notes about it, and say this employee did this well, or this employee may have this impact on somebody else, or whatnot, and literally just kind of kept tabs on that. Because what she chose to do was do what we call laser feedback. 10 minutes every couple of days, 15 minutes every couple of days, picked an employee that she shared the positives and the opportunities with. Not long drawn out 30-minute conversations, not, coming to my office, close the door, we have to have a serious talk, but stopping by the cube and saying, hey, here's some things that are going really well. Here's one thing that I heard that could maybe be improved, and here's how we might be able to do that. What do you think? And what she said was that by keeping track of things and just incrementally trying to make notes rather than wait and forget about all the good things and also miss some opportunities around some of the developmental things, said I can incrementally give feedback and it doesn't become so cumbersome because I just built it in 10, 15 minutes every couple of days to kind of give somebody a gift. And that's what she looked at it like. It was a gift. When we get feedback, it allows us to improve. It allows us to stretch. It allows us to grow. And during times of reduction, when budgets are going and people are going and positions are going, we sometimes need to stretch. And feedback is a great way to allow us to stretch. And it doesn't have to be a big, time-consuming activity. Do you think you could do laser feedback? How many of you think you could do laser feedback? How many of you do laser feedback right now? How many of you, on a scale of 1 to 10, think that you do laser feedback at a 10? Oh, a couple of folks. So we all have a little bit of opportunity to maybe do a little bit more. I'm only talking 10 minutes a week, 15 minutes a week. All right, I'm going to move on to number 3. Because I'm kind of speeding through a couple of these, so I get you on your break. For all of those of you drinking coffee and sitting there going, oh my God, I need to get out of here right at 9:30. So I want to hopefully give you some things of value to think about, but I also want to be efficient with our time. So before I move this next slide, I want to have you reflect on this question. I want you to think about a major process that you use at work in your work, or that your team or others that you work on. What's a major process that you use? Something that enables your work to happen or flow really fluidly. It may be a data entry process. It may be a work control process. It may be a technological process. Think of a process that's meaningful to you and your work. Take about 30 seconds. Does everyone have their process? You selected a process. Oh, that was enthusiastic. Wow. Process, that's like an evil word around here, isn't it? Okay. All right, process, maybe not fun, but we're gonna, I want to give you a tip here. This is an important one. All right. So one thing to do is to think about how we work on our processes, not just in our processes. And for those of us who have been in the same organization for a while, and most of you guys look like newcomers, newbies to the workforce, and so this may not apply to you, but for those of us who become a little bit more routinized in our work, sometimes we get lulled into the process, just repeating over and over and over. And it's hard to sometimes step back from those processes and look for efficiencies. And so this is what I call the balcony position. working on it as opposed to in it. When you're working in it, it's when you're actually caught up in the day-to-day work and you're a part of that process, approving things, contributing to things, doing your own work. But when you're working on it, you step back from it. You almost lift up to this cloud-like position and this balcony position, and you're looking down on the work and you're saying, we could go back to the chair, we could say, what is happening in this process as it goes from here through this person to this office, to this office, to this person? And is there anything that I can do to improve this process, to make it just a bit more efficient, just a bit more effective? Is there anything I can do to make it faster, or to get a better outcome, or to get a better result? So I'll tell you what, this is part of your laser activity fun. If you would find a person next to you and explain just briefly what your process is. They don't need to become an expert, they don't need to do it, but just share, here's the process I'm talking about. And off the top of your head, think of 2 or 3 ways that you might be able to improve that process. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to exchange ideas. I know you have an idea or 2 that you can use to improve that process. Let it out, uncage the beast, you can do it. Find a partner real quick, share your process, share 1 or 2 ideas, and then switch people.
Late, so if you want to go an extra like 5 or 10 if you need to, you know what I mean, we can adjust it. So right. I know we have time to adjust at lunch in the afternoon as well.
Okay, I'll try to keep it close. There's a lot of people who they like those breaks for calls and other stuff. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, no worries. You going to help me with this one? Huh? You want to help me with this one? Perfect. All right. So when they come back, what we'll do is we'll just get a couple of samples. And if you want to work this aisle, I can work this aisle. And
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
Katie, by the way.
Katie, I'm Casey.
Hi.
Pleasure.